Hey everybody, it's been a while since I made a video, so I'm back making a video answering some of the questions I received about how life is going. A lot of people messaged me asking, "Hey Rob, are you still long COVID free? Do you have any symptoms? Did you fall apart? How's your life?" And wanted to give you guys a few updates. So number one, I don't have long COVID. Again, haven't fallen apart. I think people ask that question because they want to know if they recover, if they can continue their recovery, or will they fall apart again. So I have gotten a more stressful job. I've gotten a job in leadership in my career, which managing people, working with people could be very stressful. And I just want to say that I have not fallen apart. I'm not sure if the video can see, but I've lost about 40 pounds. That's a goal of mine, was to lose weight. I gained a lot of weight when I had long COVID. And so now I lost about close to 40, I think like 38 pounds I've lost. I have a daughter who's 2.5 years old, I love to death, but she's very stressful, and especially when they're very young. And I think that's one concern a lot of people have is, can I manage stress, or will I have to live a stress-free life? And sometimes that can mean a very ambition-free life. Some people that I've helped on their recovery journey, you have to remove all stressors in those beginning phases of your recovery. And they say, wow, am I going to live life like this? I can't live like this with no stress, with no ambition, with no pursuing of any goal. And the reality is that is just a phase of your life. You do not have to live like that forever. But without that phase of your life, without that foundation of recovery, removing all the stressors in your life, you won't get to a place of health. You need to get to a place of health for you to add stress in your life and for your body and to teach your body and mind and brain really to recover and cope well with stress. So that's a big deal. So those are the kind of biggest updates. I have my daughter. Nothing really extraordinary happened. I'm looking at pivoting to different careers, figuring what I want to do. I have so many things in my life that I'm going through, but I really just wanted to update people that I'm doing well. Thank you very much for asking. I've received tons of comments. I think people have reached out to me through Instagram and YouTube and said that my videos have helped them recover or partly recover. Some people are still stuck, but they're so grateful that they've become so much more functional. And I just want to say thank you, because even though I'm working on my career and I'm working on so many different things, it's nice to see those comments that the videos that I've made have made an impact in people's lives. And that is a beautiful thing to know. Randomly, I'll be at work and I'll check an email from YouTube or Instagram DM of somebody telling me that my videos have completely helped them heal or have gotten them from non-functional to functional. And so I'm extremely grateful for that, because it's a beautiful thing. It's a promise I made that when the day I recover, I want to be able to make videos or write a post that can help other people. That's something I've done. I know some people make it a career out of, they make helping people from long COVID a career. I personally have not made it a career because I have another career I'm working on. But I'm extremely grateful that people have reached out. So thank you very much if you've reached out and had said that. Again, without the help of my beautiful wife, those videos wouldn't have looked as nice. So yeah, if you have any questions or concerns, I know there's people still asking me, am I coaching? Am I interested in coaching? Currently, I'm not coaching. I just have a lot in my normal career as a nurse. It's a lot. It's a leadership position in nursing, and there's a lot to juggle. So currently not coaching. I've helped a few people. I did a little bit of coaching, but it was just becoming too much. And honestly, coaching is not something I really want to do. I love making videos because I feel like with a video, I can help thousands of people. But with coaching one-to-one, it's like I can only help one people, and I don't like that. And then if I want to help 5 people, I'd have to give a lot of my time to help those 5 people. So that's why it's something I'm not really doing. I don't know what else to answer, I've been doing leadership, and that's a whole big topic on how to manage staff and expectations and dealing with that stress. And, once in a while, I'll still do my breathing, not really that often. The laughing yoga, I don't really do laughing yoga anymore. I do have a better sense of when I'm getting too stressed. I set boundaries very well now. I think that's a big part of learning to heal from long COVID. It's learning not to be so much of a perfectionist. It's learning not to be a people pleaser. I think my recovering from long COVID and learning to not be a people pleaser was a big part of that, but that's helped me in my career. I don't think I'd be as good of a leader in nursing if I didn't learn to not be a people pleaser. We all, to some degree, are people pleasers, but I was a really big people pleaser back in the days. But learning to heal from long COVID, I had to learn to set boundaries in my life. I had to go against other people's expectations of me. And, that really scared me before. And now I'm able to do that. And that really has helped me in my career. I can, especially dealing with staff members and upholding a certain standard in my units. And it's helpful. You need to not be a people pleaser. If not, you will crumble as a leader. Everything I've done, the mindset book from Amy Morin, the 13 things mentally strong people don't do, is an amazing book. If you don't have that mindset foundation, you will not be able to heal from long COVID. You need to have a very strong mindset. And so a lot of people come to me and, they'll DM me, message me about what their struggles are. And I'm going to be honest, 90% of the people that come to me looking for help and struggle with recovery, 90% is all about mindset. If you don't have a good mindset, you will not heal. I wish this wasn't true. This is not a rule I make. This is something I found working with people. This is something I found working with myself on healing. If you don't have the right mindset, you cannot heal. You need to have the right mindset for you to be able to heal, for you to be able to do the work that requires for you to cause healing in your life. So if you haven't read that book from Amy Morin, please read that book. 13 Things Mentally Strong People Don't Do. Download the book, buy the book in person, audiobook. If you're really fatigued and you can't really read, audiobook. I was able to read. Even with brain fog, I was able to read. So I enjoyed reading. Sometimes I listen to audiobook, but I'll fall asleep. So figure out what works for you. And that's it, guys. Thank you so much. Get your mindset straight. Do the exercises, your polyvagal exercises, your breathing, your laughing yoga. The techniques don't change. And I think a lot of people don't do it because it's extremely boring to do breathing for. I had a client that did breathing 3 hours a day. He did 1 hour in the morning, 1 hour for lunch, 1 hour before bed, pretty much. And I recommended him, hey, let's do 20 minutes, because you need to put in the time to breathe, to bring your nervous system back from fight or flight to calmness, relax. Social engagement is what the polyvagal theory calls it. But it's pretty much that parasympathetic calmness side, feeling safe and turning off those symptoms. You need to keep doing it over and over again because your nervous system is stuck in fight or flight. We're in that freeze mode. And so those exercises is your way of hacking or telling your brain you are safe. You can turn off these symptoms. And you have to do it over and over and over. And a lot of people, they do it for a week, don't see results, and they quit. And that's not how this works. Some people, for me, after 1 week, I felt something. I felt a difference. I was like, whoa, this is a difference. I wasn't nowhere near healed, but I felt a difference. It took 2 months of obsessed work, 2.5 months of obsessed work for me to really get a big difference. For me to say, wow, I became functional within 2.5 months. I was able to go back to work after 2.5 months, but I became obsessed. I was doing laughing yoga twice a day. I was doing breathing 30 minutes to an hour, 4 times a day. I was doing yoga twice, 3 times a day. So I was putting hours a day on calming my nervous system. So if you're not putting that work, you have to ask yourself, why not? It could be a few different things. It could be the mindset work. It could be that you're beating yourself up. You believe life should be fair. And so you're saying life is not fair to me. You're angry at the world and you hold that resentment. It's like, why do I have long COVID? And so that could be the problem where you're stuck. Or it can be that you're not doing the work because you don't believe that you can heal. You believe you're reading on Twitter and Reddit that this virus is switch something in your body and you can no longer heal for the rest of your life. And if you believe you can't heal, you will not put in the boring work, hours upon hours of daily consistent work it requires for your nervous system to heal. Keep in mind, you could put in the breathing and the meditation, but if your brain, while doing all that, is saying, screaming, I will never heal, I will never heal, oh my God, I will never heal, I will never heal. You could breathe, but you will not be putting calm breathing in. You will not be doing laughing yoga in an enjoyable way. I had a client send me videos of him doing the breathing and the laughing yoga, stressed. And he's like, it's not working, it's not working. Of course it's not working, because in reality, in your heart, you don't believe it's working. And you can't lie to your brain. That's why it's so important to build up the belief that you can heal. How do you do that? You watch other people's recovery story over and over and over again. Specifically, I was watching Raylan's story. I'm honestly not sure if there are other YouTubers that talk about long COVID healing, and staying away from the toxic Reddit, YouTube, TikTok, Twitter, whatever it is you guys are watching, the negative news of I will never heal, the stories of I will never heal, and this is all garbage about healing. They're just trying to sell something to you. I don't know how to prove to people that people come message me and say, did you really have long COVID? I don't know. I'm not here to try to, I have other problems. I can't be here trying to prove the world that you have to want to heal. I wanted to heal. I became obsessed about healing, and I healed, and I have my life back. I have a beautiful daughter. I have a job that pays me well. It's a very stressful job, but I really enjoy and love. It's a leadership position I really love, and I love leading people. And I love working with my staff and making the place better. And so, I don't know. I don't need to prove to anybody that I was sick. People ask me, how sick were you? My wife and God knows how sick I was. And so you have to stop doubting the world, and you need to start asking yourself, do I want to heal? And test things out. You have to see these things as experiments. Because I know the problem is that you try one thing in healing, let's say supplements or a medication. And you're like, oh my God, everybody told me this was going to work and it never worked. And you try something else. And you try something else. You try dieting. You try red light therapy. You try cold plunges. None of this works. And then you're so tired and exhausted of trying these different things that you give up. I'm tired. I'm not going to try new things anymore. And the reality is that you're giving up on your own life. You're giving up on the people that love you. And if you think that not facing disappointment is worth giving up, then that is a decision that you are making. But for me, I became fanatical, obsessed. I will give everything 150% until I find something. And there were times I became discouraged and I wanted to give up. And I tried supplements, and I tried medications, and I tried cold plunging, and I tried all these different, I even tried brain retraining, and I didn't like that brain retraining. I had to do my own. I tried a million things until I started seeing these stories of people recovering. And I watched, I became obsessed. And remember, even though you become discouraged, it's okay to take a break. And after a few days, come back and try something new and give it all you got. Give it all you got. And then take a break if you're discouraged again. And then give it all you got. But it's not okay to give up. It's not okay to give up. You're not just giving up on your life. You're giving up on the people around you. The people that love you, they miss you. They miss the old Rob. The Rob that was ambitious. The Rob that was happy. The Rob that was able to accomplish things and crush things in life. And it becomes very depressing and sad when that person loses that Rob. When my wife lost that Rob, and instead she got the miserable Rob, the angry Rob, the Rob that gives up on life. And it's okay that I had to go through that phase. I had to be that Rob for a little bit in my life. But I couldn't give up on myself. I couldn't give up on my wife. I couldn't give up on my daughter. I had to find a way to heal. I had to find a way. And being a nurse, when I did those brain scans, a lot of you guys will get brain scans, heart scans, all these different MRIs, x-rays, all these different exam, blood work. And you notice a lot of the things, sometimes a little bit will come off. Maybe your blood work, your stress levels are high. You can tell that by your blood levels. But for the most part, everything comes back normal. So the doctors have no answer for you. And you're lost. You're lost. You're like, what do I do? So as a nurse, I knew that whenever we did a brain scan or any blood work, if something was abnormal, it should show up. It has to show up. So when I got those blood works and those MRIs back, and nothing was abnormal structurally, nothing was damaged visibly, I knew this was reversible. I knew, because if it wasn't reversible, if the damage ate up my brain, it would be shown in the brain scans. But when I did those MRIs and I saw the results and I spoke with my doctor, he said, everything's normal. You're perfectly healthy on paper. And that's when I knew, I was like, this is reversible. I can heal from this because there's no structural damage. It's different if you have a structural damage. If the virus ate half your brain and you only have half a brain left, then it's different, right? Because there's real physical structural damage. But that was not the case with this. So it's something to keep in mind. There's no structural damage. So for me, it was really about mindset and wanting to believe I can heal. You have to want to believe you can heal. You have to be willing to be vulnerable. You have to be willing to be disappointed. You have to open yourself to disappointment, a lot of disappointment. Because when you try one thing, modality doesn't work, you have to be open to being disappointed. When you try a second thing, you have to be open to being disappointed. And when you try a third, and a fourth, and a fifth, and a sixth, and a seventh, and an eighth, and a ninth, and a 10th, and 11th, and a 12th, a 20, and a 50, and a 100th thing, you have to be willing to be disappointed. And sometimes even people will try the things I tell them or other people, coaches tell them, and it works. Breathing, calming the nervous system, and it works a little. And all of a sudden, something big happens in their life or something little happens in their life and it triggers these symptoms. And you know what? They give up. They're like, I can't heal no more. And that's a mindset problem. That's why the foundation is mindset. They start giving up again. They spindle out of control and they crash. You got to pick yourself back up. You got to double down on the boring work. You got to do more breathing. You got to bring joy in your life. You got to love yourself. You got to learn to have grace and compassion to yourself. You got to learn to love yourself. And you will never heal out of self-hatred, because what ends up happening is that, let's say you do the exercises, you have to return to a normal life. And if you continue to treat yourself the way you did before, the way that got you sick in the first place, you will get yourself sick again. And it doesn't mean that you can't handle stress. I'm handling a lot of stress right now. So it's not that you can't handle a lot of stress, but doing it in a way that you love yourself. Before I wouldn't take a lunch break at work and I would kill myself, and I would kill my brain and I would stress myself and beat myself up mentally. Now I don't do that. Now I take my breaks when I feel like it's appropriate. Sometimes I can't, but I do it calmly. I do it not out of hatred of myself, of trying to beat myself up. Rob, you're not good enough. You're not this, Rob, you're not that. I love myself too much. I don't let other people mistreat me. I set boundaries very well with other people. Before, I would feel bad if someone mistreated me. Oh, it must be me. I'm a people pleaser, so it had to be me. I don't do that no more. So just know that you will have to learn these different skills in your life to be able to heal from long COVID. And I wish everybody the best. I love you guys all. I hope you love yourself, because the most important part of all this is loving yourself, learning to love yourself. And thank you guys. I wish you guys the best. Please comment on this video if there's any questions you guys have. I'll make another video answering those questions. And please update me if you did heal, if you partially heal, if you healed a little. If you're still not healed, don't be embarrassed. Write a comment and maybe I'll make a video that can maybe help you. Thank you so much, guys. I love you guys all. Have a blessed day.